attention.
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವರೆ
Hyderabad Gujarat Express University Station, Netaji Bhavan.
You know, when it's a Sunday and there's a game at the Wankhede, a fan feels happy. There's going to be no traffic. They take a taxi, drive towards the Wankhede Stadium. It's all smooth. And then closer to the ground, there's just chock-a-block traffic. That's how Mumbai's innings felt like today, because it all started very smoothly and then it was just a crumble from the 11th to the 15th over, because in the 20 overs, Mumbai have managed 155, Will Jacks getting 53, Suryakumar Yadav getting 35. Sai Kishore finally used, he's bowled his 4 overs, picked up 2 wickets, Kotse picking up 1, Rashid picking up 1. We're back at Voltas presents Cricbuzz Live. I'm Saiyami. I've got Gilly and Murali Kartik in the studio with me.
Gilly and Millie. Mully and Gilly.
The two table toppers who have been far away, but I won't discuss that and I won't start the show with that. But Gilly, what happened? Because 89 for 2 after the 10th over. We were chatting at the com box, Kartik and me, and he said that, oh, this should be a good 200 plus and they're looking completely sorted to go past the 200 mark, but just a big crumble.
I think a few things happened. First of all, GT started to hold catches. They decided to hold more than they dropped. So that let them down in the first 10 overs. And I do think the pitch, once the ball got, up past the 10 over mark and the GT bowlers picked up on the pitch, they started to take pace off a bit, and that slowed it up and that created some chances. And that, it's an ironic thing to say. Here's the scoring rates, and it's obviously that everything that you mentioned, Saiyami, 4 for 27 in those 5 overs there, and not a significant improvement right at the back end due to having lost so many wickets. But I think the fielding, believe it or not, having dropped 3 or 4 catches, they were pretty sharp.
Yes,
but
after the 10th.
So after the 10th, they really did put pressure on and they accepted the catches. And I think a few poor options from the Mumbai batters on a couple of occasions. A couple of them would like to change their mind on the stroke that they played at the time, if they could have their time again, but that's not to be. So that little flurry at the end gives it something. 155 looked like for a moment it was going to be 125, 130. So, yeah, it was an interesting swing of events.
Well, I'm going to the bowler in the house, Kartik. You're going to be a happy man because the first 10 overs, it felt like it was a batting paradise. And then the spinners came on, like Gilly said, took the pace off the ball, and you'd be very happy with the way the spinners have performed today.
Yeah, very much so, because red soil does offer something for you. Normally it has bounce, which is something which you want as a bowler, but sometimes the bounce can also prove a deterrent, especially in T20, because with the bounce, you end up hitting or going for lots of boundaries or sixes. But today, just the way they bowled Sai Kishore and Rashid Khan in tandem, I thought just after the wicket of Suryakumar Yadav, and it's amazing, we talk about how good Surya is against spinners, but he was dismissed to Sai Kishore. I think it's for the first time that he's been dismissed to Sai Kishore, and then that actually opened the floodgates, so to say. And also, Gilly is absolutely right. At that point of time, sometimes when you're doing well as a team, you feel you can get away with all the shots that you play. And I think that is the time when you need to possibly buckle down, knuckle down, whatever you want to call it, and then say, okay, this is the target we have in mind. But I suppose because they've been playing so well, MI thought that we can get away with it by playing some shots and some poor options over there.
But, like Gilly was saying, that pitch slowed up a little bit later. So you think the batters needed to just kind of set themselves in and not go for the shots right away? Is that a mistake maybe they made?
It'll be interesting. So the new ball is still going to come on.
Yeah.
And also the second half, things do get slightly cooler at Wankhede. So we normally see the ball coming on even better. And also we saw at the back end of that Mumbai Indian innings too, that the ball and some of the shots that were played, I think that'll give a lot of confidence to GT that they've done really well in restricting them to 150, given the way their top 3 is playing. I know Mumbai have got a solid bowling lineup, but again, you're only playing around with that much. Yeah. So every time you go for a 4 or whatever, as a bowler, you're thinking, I think they've done really well to restrict. After 10 overs, I really thought that they were going to go bananas, and it went the other way around. It went pear-shaped.
Yeah. But Gill will be a happy man, because at one point he was rubbing his eyes in disbelief with the catches getting dropped, and then they came back very well, and he's given Sai Kishore his 4 overs. We chatted about it in our pre-match. So just so good to see him pick up those 2 important wickets for Gujarat.
Yeah, I thought together with Rashid, they were excellent. And I mean, Kricbuzz came in and had an impact against his old team, so he was well pleased with that. Shubman took matters literally into his own hands.
Finally
and
started catching it all.
held on to 3 of them, I think it was, at last count. So, it was a real... I thought he shuffled his bowlers really well. He didn't lose his cool. He didn't get too, he sort of rubbed his eyes or sort of... But there was no over-the-top animated gesturing about, this is the big game. We've got, the value on this wicket's got to be higher than what we're putting on it by way of dropping catches. So I thought that was a nice way to do it. A nice, cool, calm, collected skipper.
That's how he usually is. He's not very aggressive, or he doesn't express too much on the field and gets the job done. Kartik, we'll talk about Mumbai's batting. I'll have a look at that batting card, because there were pretty much just maybe 3 people we can talk about when it comes to the ones who got the runs. We look at Suryakumar Yadav's 35, Will Jack's 53, and then Corbin Bosch hitting it around for 27. But otherwise, they're going to be very disappointed with also the shot selection.
Yeah, exactly. You think of... Tilak Verma, Hardik Pandya, even Rohit Sharma, for that matter. We can't take him out of it, because the number of shots he played for his 7, it felt as if he played 70. And normally, we don't say that to him or say that about him, because he looks so good on the eye, he never makes any ugly runs. But today, it just looked that he had played too many shots for his 7 runs. So, it was interesting just looking at their batting lineup. And just the way they played, I'm just trying to figure out what happened, to be very honest. Because again, we've been raving about them. Even if you take Will Jacks, dropped twice, Suryakumar Yadav dropped once. And if they had been caught at that point of time, would the innings have looked any different? I'm still trying to grapple what happened, because it seemed too many shots were played. But for little results there.
Well, there's something that Rashid was saying in that mid-match. He said that he's 75 to 80% there with his fitness, but it takes a long time after surgery to come back. And he said he hadn't been hitting the lengths very well, so he felt today he was a little better than most of the games. Were you happy with the way he's gone about things?
That was...
Rashid Khan.
Oh, Rashid, sorry. Yeah, I thought you were talking about quick. No, I thought Rashid was excellent. Really, it seemed like a couple of their batters weren't picking him, which I think over time, a lot of the batters around the world, because he's played in so many of the leagues, Rashid, I think people have become more familiar with him, with picking him. But no, I thought he attacked the stumps and had the ball just going enough either way, had a number of appeals knocked back and they reviewed and they just didn't go his way. That bounce that you spoke about, Kartik, cost him a couple of times with umpire's call and missing the stumps. So, no, I thought he really almost led the attack. I know Sai Kishore came on and opened it up, but I just thought he had a nice aggressiveness, Rashid. Not over the top animated, but just that look in his eyes and really, really positive approach from him today.
Interesting. We did a piece here at Cricbuzz about looking at his lengths this year. And post his surgery, every time he's overpitched, and he's overpitched a lot, he has been taken to the cleaners. And every time he's just bowled normal good length, he's gone at 6.5s and 7s. Yeah, right. And I spoke to him at the end of that Vaibhav Suryavanshi game, just because post-match and you have some time. And he said that it's taking him time post-surgery. He says, I'm not still feeling 100%. I'm playing, but I'm not 100%. It's getting there. And I suppose that as a bowler, sometimes you need to feel good about your body. Sometimes things don't you don't release the ball the way you want to till the time you don't feel 100%. And every time you feel good, and every time he's hit those lengths, he's been not easy to get away.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, we know who's not easy to get away, and they're going to be coming out very soon. Are the three Mumbai trio pacers who have been so good. We spoke about it yesterday as well, that it's going to be the Mumbai trio pacers versus the trio opening and Buttler for Gujarat, because we know what they've done for Gujarat. Who's your money on? Who's getting the better of who?
Well, the work's all to be done by the bowlers now, isn't it? The GT, that top three have, on the good fortune of their bowling, bought themselves a bit of time to be able to get out there and just adjust to the conditions. They've got to strike early. That power play, I just don't think they can be anything less than maybe 3 down at the end of that power play for Mumbai to be a genuine chance, but.
Which has not happened, isn't it? With GT, that has not happened because of their top three.
Yeah, no, that's right. That's as good a top three, the performance-wise, as any around, and Annie for quite a memory. But Bumrah, Bolt, they are.
Well, Gilly, isn't it almost like that ashes to ashes, dust to dust? Tomo doesn't get you, Lily does, because there's Bumrah, there's Chahar, there's Bolt, so they're one after the other.
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe MI needs to find a chant for the MI pacers as well.
I would want to see Bumrah bowl. Like we've been talking about Pat Cummins bowling, taking that new ball. And he did that yesterday and we saw what happened, rather than coming on to bowl 4th or 5th over.
Yeah.
But isn't it also because they know that he can come at any phase and they want to get...
No,
Deepak
it's not
Chahar's
any
4 overs
phase.
out?
This format is not for any phase. Yes, you can do a job, but the thing is, you're trying to get a batter out when he's on 0.
Yes.
That's the simple thing. If he doesn't get it, then it's a different thing. But at least you've got the best chance of doing it, at least as Bumrah, who's one of the best all-format bowler we have going around in the world. He can strike when 2 batters are on not when Sai Sudarshan and Shubman Gill have gotten off to a start.
I think, there could be credit, and he may well start Trent Boult with the fact that he swings it.
Yes.
But if I'm batting, if Bolt's coming on, you probably know his length that he's going to be searching for. So you can just maybe get set a little bit easier. With Bumrah bowling very first over, he can bowl any number of 4 or 5 different deliveries to your first ball. In fact, any ball through that over. So I'd be tempted, given that the lower total, a bit different if they'd got to 200, but the premium on wickets.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. I would be going with
Bumrah, or you go with Bumrah and Deepak Chahar?
I know they're going to go to Deepak Chahar because they've utilised him within the first 6-7 overs. But I would like to see, personally, given the number of runs they have, Bolt and Bumrah.
So Bolt and Bumrah is who you would like to see Mumbai open with. But talking about that impact early on, we know what the Gujarat 3 have done. And their numbers are just staggering because they have just been so consistent. Yeah. It's almost like when you play gully cricket and no one gets to bat down because the first 2 just win the game for you. That's what's been happening with Gujarat, is that the first 3, if not the first 2, then Buttler comes, puts his hand up. So it's either Sai Sudarshan, Gill or Buttler, but these 3 have just been so consistent this season.
Yeah, they've scored 75% of their runs between that 3. So that means that we can all sit around and say the middle order hasn't been exposed and they're going to be underdone. But you don't complain about your top 3 doing that consistently. And the way they've gone about it, there's, as I mentioned, they're as good a top 3 or base 3 as any around. I think of a team I was fortunate to play in, not necessarily in this format, but in Test cricket, Hayden, Langer, Ponting.
I would say white ball cricket, Gilchrist, Hayden, Ponting. For Russell playing against, it was Gilly, Hayden and Ponting in white ball cricket.
But also with, there's one trio that comes to my mind is Virat, Gill and ABD.
Yeah.
We know what they've done.
But they were not in the same order.
Not in the same order, but he would come sometimes.
Yeah, but we are talking top 3.
Yes.
I'm just trying to think, which is the other top 3? We had Viru, Sachin, and number 3...
Dravid.
No, Dravid in Test match cricket.
Yes.
So Sachin, Saurav and
Sachin, Saurav and Viru.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying from a white ball format and a top 3.
Yeah.
I'm not going Test match cricket. I'm just trying to think of any other team which had such a dynamic
Different
trio.
different era, different scoring rates, but they did set the tempo a little bit in the West Indies. Haynes,
Haynes, Greenidge and Richards, yeah.
It's not bad, that.
Yeah,
So
Haynes, Greenidge and
when
Richards,
you're mentioning those names,
Yeah, correct.
they're Hall of Famers. So, yeah, but they've made such an impact,
Yes.
and that it's just going to be an enthralling matchup. Even though the total's low, Mumbai have to attack. It's going to be great to watch.
And also they go very traditional. So with Sudarshan and with Gill, we know that they don't try too many cheeky, fancy shots. So it's just very orthodox, proper traditional cricket, which just feels like, your heart is not jumping. It's not so risky when they play. And with a low score, we can expect them to take it easy.
They've done that. That's been their modus operandi every game. First 3 overs, take it easy. Next 3, go bombastic.
Well, Kartik, I know that you said it with almost like the sigh in your voice when you said, I know who they're going to the new ball
I know
with.
what they're going to do, but...
And that's
yeah.
exactly what they've done. Because,
Chahar, isn't it?
Yes, he's opening the bowling. So brings us to the guessing game,
Which we were very
totally
pretty...
off.
We sucked at it.
We sucked at it, and I really don't want to say this. The last time there was a rain delay, I got to bat opposite you. You bowled to me, and then yesterday I got to bowl to Gilly, who whacked me around with a little mini bat. And GK is texting us and telling us that there is rain in Bandra. So I really hope that it doesn't come to this side of the town. There was predicted rain, but we will do the dance because Gilly will do the Gangnam style dance and make sure it doesn't rain.
If it does rain, I'll bowl this time. I'll resurrect my bowling career. Good stats.
All right, Kartik will bat and I will field. I can keep, you can bat.
Okay.
We can do that, but there's a boundary in the second ball, I think.
All right.
So your scores.
Well, I'm going to add 4 to my total. I'm going to go 51.
I was thinking 55.
You can still stick to that.
Yeah, 55.
51, 55. I'm going to say 53.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to go with 50, 53, 52. All right, we'll stick together and play like a team. I just stick to
At
the
least
leaders.
we get one today.
Yeah, that's right.
Hopefully get one. I'll just stick to the leaders. That's what my strategy is going to be. But let's see who picks up these 2 points because they are crucial to both MI and GT. We will come back at the 10-over point with all the updates. Do join us at the Cricbuzz Combox. Thank you so much for watching Voltas Presents Cricbuzz Live. Saved it, yeah?
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವವರೇ
Hyderabad Express, Nayagati Station, Netaji Obot.